Hello and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we are looking at the good retcons in the Dragon Ball world. A retcon is described as, in a film, television series, or other fictional work, a piece of new information that imposes a different interpretation on previously described events, typically used to facilitate a dramatic plot shift or account for an inconsistency. So basically, changes made to a previous reveal. And Dragon Ball has made many changes to its canon and lore over the years. You wouldn't really say that Dragon Ball has the most complicated universe to understand, but that has not stopped Toriyama changing and adding to it when he wishes. Toriyama's world is rich and colourful, full of unique alien races and formidable villains, but sometimes his stories do get facts changed. When we look back, the anime of Dragon Ball Z actually finished over 2 decades ago at this point, back in 1996. But that has not stopped the popularity of this show, and more specifically Goku, increase more and more over time. So of course, as popularity increased, there was a point when they thought, we need to bring this back. Now of course there was Dragon Ball GT, but more specifically today we're going to talk about Super. So, while it might be unrealistic to expect a story that has spanned over several decades to remain completely void of plot holes in terms of continuity, Toriyama has been deliberately flexible with certain details of the original anime and manga series. So as a result, Dragon Ball Super has completely rewritten things that fans have spent years believing that was true. Some of these things are small and kind of irrelevant, things that people don't even think about, but Others make such drastic changes there can be something of a kickoff about it. So today I'm going to go over some of these changes, and these are the ones that I believe have had a positive impact on the overall story, with my look at negative ones coming in a future video. So let's start off today with the Origins of Majin Buu. Originally, Majin Buu was created by Bibidi, who to start off with was the father of Babidi as well. This all got changed later though, for not only did it eventually get changed that Babidi was now a reincarnation of Bibidi as opposed to being his son, but they also changed the origin of Buu as well. This got changed to Majin Buu not being created by Bibidi, merely conjured by him. Possessing great magical power, he managed to conjure this being that is now said to have existed since the beginning of time itself, and just kind of existed. Now, Buu is described as the simple embodiment of evil that has always been there, as opposed to a creature that was magically created by this warlock. Now, personally, I would consider this a good change. If Majin Buu had been created by Bibidi, then surely that would have meant creating a being that is just that powerful was something that could be repeated. At the time that this was the way, there was no hint it was a one-off thing. So in theory, it meant more beings of this kind of power and evil could exist again. Whereas with the change, it makes Buu far more unique. He has now existed for so long that no one really knows where he has come from, and there are no other things like him. He just came from the darkness and has always been there, being one of the only things to exist that you could truly consider as 100% evil. And this is what makes him such a terrifying being in his original form. Although he is not the strongest by pure strength, the abilities that he possesses and that his pure evil nature just makes him so dangerous, along with knowing that he is someone or something that you just cannot reason with. It just makes him far more interesting and a better villain than if he had just been mixed up and conjured by some warlock. So that is why I'd say this was a good change. Now the next one I consider a positive one is the addition of Super Saiyan 3. We first come to see the next transformation after Super Saiyan 2 when Goku needs to stall Majin Buu so that Trunks can go and collect the Dragon Radar. However, there was a problem when they were originally writing this section though, as not long before this, Majin Vegeta, as a Super Saiyan 2, had overpowered Goku, yet was no match at all for Buu to the point that he had to blow himself up just to try and win. So how could Goku possibly stand any chance at all? Well, the idea had been in the works for a while before this, but this is where it came to appear, the next level of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3. I mean, a lot of people have asked why Goku didn't just turn Super Saiyan 3, at least briefly, KO Vegeta, and then stop Buu from hatching. And as I said, the simple answer to this is just that Toriyama had not come up with this final idea for the next transformation at that point, even though there was an idea for another transformation in his head. This idea is one that I would definitely put in the good list because personally, I feel that it could still just make sense. Buu was getting closer and closer to hatching due to the energy that Goku and Vegeta were letting off during their fight. So, if Goku then transformed, this could well have quickened up that process as well, which is something I'm sure they would have wanted to avoid. We also must remember that at the end of the day, Toriyama is the type of writer who likes to discover things himself as he writes. Meaning it is almost as though he goes on the journeys with the characters and learns the things that they do at the same time. So, Goku holding back his true power and not going full out in this battle is also quite true to his character. He does like to hold back, quite often resulting in defeat, to then come back at full power later on. So despite people thinking it's strange that he does not use the transformation, I still believe it does kind of make sense into the situation that was happening and the character that Goku is. So now moving on to the next one, and that is the legendary Super Saiyan. Who is the legendary Super Saiyan? To be fair, it's hard to ever know because the story of this legend has been changed time and time again. The first we ever hear of it is in the build-up to Goku first transforming into a Super Saiyan himself on Namek. Vegeta describes this legend as something that only appears every 1000 years and is so powerful that the user cannot truly control that power. However, we end up with so many possibilities of who this legendary Super Saiyan could actually be after this original reveal. Throughout the story, we realize that there could be so many answers to it. From Yamoshi to Broly to Bardock to even Goku, it becomes so hard to know for sure who this legend is really about. Now, for my opinion on this is that I would not say that this is the worst retcon. The thing with this one to me comes with the name. It's legendary. So it's a legend. It's a story that has been passed down through generations. It's not fact, just rumor if anything. Things like this do get things wrong, facts get changed, enhanced for the purpose of drama, and that's just in real life, not in a story. A warrior race talking about having the strongest fighter that appears every 1000 years just suits the Saiyans down to the ground. It's a bit like a children's story they get told before bed, like all children want to grow up to fulfill that legend of the Super Saiyan, so that is why I have no issues at all with this being changed over time. And now we're going to move on to the last of the, what is in my opinion, positive retcon changes for today, and that is with the Origins of Goku. Originally, Goku was never meant to be a member of a warrior race. No, he was originally just meant to be, well, a monkey boy from Earth. However, when we get to the start of Dragon Ball Z, we learn that he is actually from a completely different planet, and this even gets slightly changed later again. We first get told he was sent there with the purpose of taking over and enslaving the planet for the Saiyans to one day sell for profit. Although, this was later changed to being that he was sent to the planet as a way to save him from the destruction of planet Vegeta by Frieza. In fact, in Dragon Ball Super Broly they even changed it from Goku arriving as a baby to a bit more of an older toddler. And this even results in changes to Goku's real father too, Bardock. He is altered from a true ruthless warrior to more of a caring soldier and father. And I really do like this retcon. It made Dragon Ball into what it is today by introducing more alien life and giving a good reason why Goku is how he is and why he stands out so much. This retcon suggests that Goku's goodness and morality are at least partially inherited from his parents, rather than a result of a bump on the head and living with his grandpa Gohan. I mean, can you imagine how the story would have gone if he was actually just kept as a fairly strong Earthling? It would have been completely different. I feel like they wouldn't have had as many possibilities to go into in the future. Yes, it worked for the original Dragon Ball run, but once they got into Z and then obviously Super later, I feel like adding this alien aspect to everything was really just a positive change and it made the show what it is. So there we have it, a look at some of the good retcons that have been introduced in Dragon Ball. I'm curious to know if there are more positive retcons you would add to this list, or if some of these that I have said are positive, you would actually consider them to be bad instead. Please let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on these in the comment section below. I will be releasing a video on the bad retcons next week, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications so that you do not miss that. So now that we are at the end of the video, I would like to thank you all if you have managed to reach it with me, and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.